What if I told you that your entire reality, what you see, feel, believe, isn't something fixed, but something flexible, something that shifts the moment you shift? What if there was one idea, just one, that once understood could unlock a completely new way of experiencing life? Stay with me, because this one insight might just change the way you see everything. Welcome back to the channel Sairen, where we dive into deep ideas that help you live a better, more meaningful life. Today's video is about a powerful philosophical insight, a shift in perspective that can transform your entire experience of the world. This isn't about magic or wishful thinking. It's about understanding the nature of reality and your mind's role in shaping it. This is for anyone who's ever felt stuck, for anyone who's wondered why things don't change, for anyone who wants to change but doesn't know where to start. Let's explore this together. Let's begin with a simple truth. You don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. Philosophers have talked about this for centuries. Plato's allegory of the cave suggests that most of us live looking at shadows, believing they're real. Descartes had questioned everything he knew, arriving at only one certainty. I think, therefore I am. Today, neuroscience confirms this. Our brains filter, interpret, and create what we call reality. Two people can experience the same moment and have entirely different interpretations. That means, if you shift your perception, you'll shift your experience of reality itself.
Let's go one level deeper. If perception creates your reality, then what shapes your perception? The answer is beliefs. Beliefs are the silent architects of your inner world. They're not just thoughts, they're deeply embedded frameworks that color every experience, every choice, every emotion. If you believe the world is dangerous, your nervous system stays in defense mode. If you believe you're not worthy, you'll subconsciously sabotage opportunities. If you believe people are generous, you'll attract and recognize acts of kindness everywhere. Here's the key insight: you rarely see reality itself, you see your beliefs projected outward. It's like wearing invisible glasses tinted by your past, your conditioning, your fears, your upbringing. Most people never take them off because they don't even realize they're wearing them. Think about this: two people walk into the same room. One sees opportunity, the other sees threat. Same room, different beliefs. That's why ancient wisdom traditions and modern psychology alike emphasize the power of questioning your beliefs. The Stoics said, we cannot control external events, but we can control how we interpret them. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, wrote that between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space lies our freedom. So ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? Am I capable? Am I enough? What do I believe about others? Are they threats? Are they allies? What do I believe about life? Is it a struggle or a gift? Every time you ask a deep question about your beliefs, you reclaim a piece of your power. And here's the beautiful part: beliefs can change. They're not carved in stone, they're learned. And what's learned can be unlearned. With awareness, intention, and practice, you can update your belief system like you update outdated software. Because when your beliefs change, the filter changes and your entire reality shifts with it. Now, let's bring this from a theory to practice. Philosophy isn't just for books or classrooms, it's for your morning routine, your hardest conversations, your quiet moments at night. The ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus journaled every day, not because they were unsure, but because they were training their minds to see clearly. They asked, what is in my control? What isn't? How do I respond wisely? Imagine waking up each morning and asking, what kind of person do I want to be today? Imagine approaching each challenge not with anxiety, but with a calm question: what virtue can I practice here? Aristotle believed that excellence isn't an act, it's a habit. He said that we become just by doing, just acts. So every small choice matters. Every interaction is a chance to practice wisdom, courage, patience, or compassion? What if, instead of reacting from emotion, you paused and asked, what is the wise thing to do here? That single moment of reflection can shift the entire outcome of a situation. When you start applying philosophy, your life becomes intentional. You stop drifting, you start steering, relationships improve because you listen more, work improves because you act with clarity, your inner world becomes quieter, not because the world changed, but because you did. Start small, reflect before you speak. Ask yourself what matters most each day. Journal your thoughts, even for 5 minutes. Choose virtue over impulse. That's how philosophy becomes transformation, not through ideas alone, but through lived experience. Here's the secret that ties it all together. Awareness is the beginning of change. Awareness is like turning on the light in a dark room. Suddenly, you see clearly. You see your patterns, your habits, your assumptions, and once you see them, you can change them. Most people live unconsciously. They're run by old programming, childhood fears, cultural conditioning, unexamined stories. But when you start to observe your thoughts, question your reactions, and slow down your impulses, you create space. And in that space, you find power, the power to choose. It starts with noticing. What triggers you? What thoughts loop in your mind? What emotions do you suppress? As you build this awareness, your inner world becomes more spacious. You stop taking your thoughts so seriously. You stop believing every fear. You start noticing the gap between what happens and how you respond. Meditation helps, journaling helps, even 1 minute of stillness helps. And the more aware you become, the more awake you feel. Not in a mystical sense, but in a practical, empowered way. You begin to see your habits not as fixed identities, but as choices. You begin to feel less like a victim and more like a co creator. You realize that life is not happening to you, life is happening through you. This shift in awareness is the turning point. The more you practice it, the more alive, centered, and powerful you become. Let's redefine reality, not as something outside of you, but as something that starts within you. Because as the ancient mystics and modern thinkers alike remind us, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. When you take ownership of your perspective, when you examine your beliefs, when you act with clarity and wisdom, you're not just in reality, you're shaping it. This is what great minds throughout history have known, and what we're finally rediscovering today. It's not about escaping reality, it's about stepping fully into it with awareness, with intention, with power. You don't need to change everything about your life. Just start with how you see your life, because once that changes, everything else follows. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to sit with it, write about it, share it with someone who needs a shift. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below with your biggest takeaway. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep asking questions, keep challenging your limits, keep shifting your reality.